Yeah, I like to keep it.
Forget the names Skrillex and Tiesto, because there's a new DJ in town. He's burst onto the scene in just a few short years, taking the music industry by storm, and his name is... Wait, what? Like the food? Okay. And his name is Marshmello. Our puffy-headed friend was officially the 5th highest-paid DJ on the planet in 2018, and believe it or not, he's yet to even sign with a major record label. Alright, so we know we're making some pretty big claims by saying this guy is one of the best ever, and we know that there were a lot of influential DJs out there before him. But the numbers really do speak for themselves. He made the cover of the Forbes 2018 30 Under 30 list, topping the charts as the most influential up-and-comer, and raked in a cool $44 million in 2018 alone. He's teamed up with some of music's most supreme names like Bastille, Khalid, and Selena Gomez, and he's put on a revolutionary concert for 10 million viewers. Yup, that's no joke. Plus, he doesn't even have to be producing music to rake in the attention. He can be whipping up some fried rice and still get millions of views. Seriously, we're not kidding. His YouTube series, Cooking with Marshmello, has capitulated his channel into the top 20 most watched on all of YouTube, with close to 37 million subscribers. And his cooking videos alone average around 250 million views. That puts our mellowy friend ahead of the likes of Taylor Swift, Rihanna, Katy Perry, and Maroon 5, which is no easy feat. Before we dive into the nitty-gritty of how our main mellow man skyrocketed into international stardom, let's just clear up a thing or two. We know that the dude likes to troll around a little, and for a pretty darn long time, we actually weren't even sure who he really was. To most of the world, he was just a DJ with a white bucket type thing on his head. He cunningly orchestrated fake reveals as Will Ferrell, Tiesto, and even Shawn Mendes. But now we're pretty darn sure that his actual name is Chris Comstock. Or is this just one super troll? Who knows? And secondly, what's with the name Marshmello? In actual fact, there's not a whole lot to it. He's not a huge fan of campfires, and he doesn't have an obsession with Rocky Road. The name just came to him because he thought that his music had a pretty laid-back, relatable, and yep, you guessed it, mellow feel. And that's all it took to strike gold. Okay, so how did this dude, who definitely isn't Will Ferrell, go from an amateur DJ, probably living out of his mom's garage Eric Cartman style, to a global hotshot in just a couple of short years? Let's find out. Alright, we've hopped into our DeLorean and gone all the way back to 2015, all the way to the beginning of the Marshmello journey. This is when he posted his first original song on SoundCloud called Waves, and it went a little something like this. After that, the only way was up. SoundCloud was the key to Marshmello's early steps forward. It's where he was able to release original tunes like Blocks and Find Me, and where he put out remixes of songs by Jack U and DJ Zed, which helped the mellowy name start to pop up in international circles. A few more impressive remixes from big names like Calvin Harris, Skrillex, and Diplo meant that Marshmello was starting to gain plenty of recognition. All the way through his SoundCloud days, his trap-tastic music was fun, simple, and of course had just enough mellowy undertones. So, when EDM personalities and listeners started to hear his tunes, the questions started to arise. Who is Marshmello? What is a marshmallow? Can we put marshmallows in the microwave? Okay, maybe not that last one, but you get the idea. The remixes started to put him on the map. Now, most people would say that our boy's success truly started with a breakthrough song called Alone, and that's certainly a large part of the story. However, there's definitely more to it than just a music video that went nuts. The other crucial elements are his well-crafted character and his ongoing and alluring mystery, but we'll touch on those in a second. Alright, so let's talk about Alone. Alone was one of the songs in Marshmello's first album called Joy Time, which he let loose back in 2016. He posted the music video on YouTube and it spread like wildfire. In the first 6 months, it worked its way up to almost 100 million views, and these days, just 3 years later, hold on to your hats, folks, it's had almost 1.4 billion views. That means that roughly 1 in every 5 people on the entire frickin' planet has seen it. So yeah, he's a pretty big deal, we guess. In just a couple of months, the video propelled the number of subscribers on his channel from the tens of thousands into the millions. This was also his first song to crack the Billboard Hot 100 and reach the 9th spot on the EDM charts. Obviously, his unique sound was a major part of the video's success, but that wasn't all of it. The footage and the message it conveyed was super relatable to people all over the world. Everyone goes through hardships, everyone can be down in the dumps, and everyone can push through it and follow their dreams. That message was the key to the success. Plus, without a human face, with no distinguishable nationality, race, or age, it meant that everyone could relate. Okay, so let's jump back to that point about Marshmello's face, shall we? Or rather his, do marshmallows have faces? Do they cry when they're roasted? Yikes, that's not a pretty thought. Anyway, so Marshmello's lack of a face is actually so in your face that it works perfectly. These days, he's an unforgettable and instantly recognizable artist, and he does so without actually showing his real human head. That's the other major reason for his success: kick-ass branding. The Marshmello character, which is little more than a puffy, oversized helmet with a couple of eyes and a mouth, is as simple as it is freaking genius. So how did the idea of a white yoga mat bent into a cylinder become the Marshmello we know and love today? Well, after Chris started to gain traction on SoundCloud, he got together with his manager, Mo Shalizzy, who we actually met through SoundCloud, and they tried to come up with a persona. As good as the music was, it wasn't enough. After tossing up between various questionable headgear like ski masks and bandanas, they eventually settled on the big Marshmello head thingo that we all know and love today. Was Marshmello the first ever music dude to throw something on his head? Absolutely not. Plenty of famous names like Daft Punk, DJs from Mars, Slow Magic, and of course, Deadmau5 have all rocked some pretty badass masks and helmets over the years. Actually, Marshmello had a bit of a beef with Deadmau5 along the way, but that's a story for another day, kids. The point is that these guys, including our soft and sweet Marshmello, visually stand out from the rest of the EDM crowd. You'd never recognize Chris Comstock's face if you saw him sipping on a Frappuccino at Starbucks, but you'd sure as hell freak out if you saw a flashing Marshmello-headed dude rock up, right? Okay, you get it. It's simple and it's recognizable. The first time that Marshmello actually wore his helmet was at a concert with Skrillex out in New York, and as soon as that happened, his name was thrown up in lights. But you see, the helmet isn't just a visual gimmick or a facade. It's a catalyst to another major reason behind this dude's unbelievable success: his mystery. Before we found out that he was Chris Comstock, who actually went under the stage name .com back in the day, we really had no freaking idea who Marshmello was. And that was just how he wanted it. Because since the world couldn't link him to any race, religion, skin color, or age, he was exclusively his onstage character. So, unless there's anybody with a prejudice against soft and squishy desserts, it was going to be tough to find anything to badmouth him for. That meant that everyone from India to Indiana and Australia to Austria could relate to the artist with ease. In actual fact, it was a pretty awesome marketing move. As his status grew and grew, so did the allure. People were desperate to know who the mystery man behind the mask actually was, and this worked in his favor. We know what you're thinking, but no, it wasn't Jim Carrey. Marshmello and his manager Mo would capitalize on this secrecy and mystery by coordinating a bunch of fake reveals. And every time some famous celeb was revealed to be Mello but actually wasn't, it would light up the tabloids, and the name would just become more well-known. They even got Shawn Mendes to dress up in the Marshmello outfit to receive the DJ's iHeartRadio Award, which of course resulted in plenty of confused, shocked, and amazed fans. So we know his music is good, and we know his character and brand is good, but how did this guy transition from a trap DJ into an out-and-out music superstar in just a couple of short years? Well, there's a few reasons behind that. In 2017, Marshmello teamed up with a couple of pretty darn huge names. He released Wolves with Selena Gomez, which reached number 20 on the Billboard Hot 100, and Silence with Khalid, which made it to number 30. These collabs allowed his music to filter out of the EDM and trap scene and into a much wider array of music genres. Then in 2018, he joined forces with Bastille to produce the smash hit Happier, which was nominated for the iHeartRadio Music Award for Alternative Rock Song of the Year. And he also performed alongside Anne-Marie on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. So by this stage, it's pretty obvious that Marshmello wasn't just turning heads in the electronic scene anymore, but making huge waves in the pop scene as well. And if anybody else out there thinks that a pop spin-off of Marshmello should be called a Pop-Tart, go ahead and let us know in the comments. Anyway, where were we? Yes, diversification. Okay, so Marshmello didn't only diversify his music, but also his environment and audience. In fact, earlier this year, he teamed up with the video game crew from Fortnite to put on what officially became the largest virtual concert in history, welcoming 10 million online headbangers. So you get the idea, he's not afraid of trying new things. Okay, so aside from the music and the performing side of it all, there's another big factor that sets Marshmello apart from the majority of DJs out there, and that's his devotion to his fans. The most notorious example of this is the Cooking with Marshmello series on his YouTube channel. Essentially, he decided to ditch the discs and pick up the egg beater in an effort to connect with his fans on a deeper level. The dishes he creates come from all over the world, and he just adds that little extra level of relatability. Pretty smart, eh? He also spends hours posing for selfies after shows. And when he's not posing for selfies with his screaming fans, he's snapping away a few pics with his pug. Marshmello has just released another major album, Joytime 3, on July 2nd, 2019, and has already raked in bucket loads of cash as a result. In fact, his manager Mo has gone on public record saying that he wouldn't be surprised if Mello earns $50 million by the end of 2019, which could put him neck and neck with Calvin Harris. Thanks to his immediately recognizable look, unique sound, and willingness to do things a little differently, there's no telling how much further Marshmello can expand. Get it? So there you have it, that's how Marshmello became one of the biggest DJs ever. Do you think he'll ever make it to #1? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to The Richest, and join our notification squad. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.